If the fixed nature of matter prevents it from being always and in all its dispositions equally agreeable even to a single soul, much less is it possible for the matter of the universe at any moment to be distributed so that it is equally convenient and pleasurable to each member of a society. If a man traveling in one direction is having a journey downhill, a man going in the opposite direction must be going uphill. If a pebble lies where I want it to lie, it cannot, except by a mere coincidence, be where you want it to lie. It would literally be physically impossible for the world to cater to each individual person and their pleasures and their wants, because literally it's physically impossible. Like C.S. Lewis says, if I want a pebble to sit this way, but you want a pebble to sit that way, it's impossible for the pebble to be in both places at once. That's just two people. That's not considering the billions of people who would have different ideas of what they want and different pleasures and things like that. So it's really interesting, really good analogy with that. This world is probably the only possible world in which that we can have free will and that we can love God by choosing him and having choice in that matter. This might be the only possible world in which we can live. And this is how he explains it. He said, we can perhaps conceive of a world in which God corrected the results of this abuse of free will by his creatures at every moment. So he stopped, like he could correct a person who is going to commit something, do something wrong, right? God could stop them before they committed that abuse of free will, but then that wouldn't be free will because he wouldn't be exercising our free will, right? He would be stopping us before we could make that choice or make that action or make that decision. Which God corrects the results of this abuse of free will by his creatures at every moment, so that a wooden beam became soft as grass when it was used as a weapon, and the air refused to obey me if I attempted to set up in the sound waves that carry lies or insults. But such a world would be one in which wrong actions were impossible, and in which therefore freedom of the will would be void. Evil thoughts would be impossible. Every possibility of us committing a wrong or abusing our free will, if all of those things would be impossible, then we wouldn't have free will. It would not be a free world, and we would not have choice in that matter then. He said, try to exclude the possibility of suffering, which the order of nature and the existence of free wills involve, and you find that you have excluded life itself. So we could not live our lives at all if we weren't able to make choices and decisions, albeit possibly bad ones, possibly very wrong things. We would not be able to live life. We would not have life. Try to exclude the possibility of suffering, which the order of nature and the existence of free wills involve, and you find that you've excluded life itself. Page 25. That's one of the best quotes that I have ever read, honestly, in explaining this. So like he says on page 26, perhaps this is not the best